Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest Etakin of all? Why, it happens to be Fur White. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and we are playing RimWorld today. This is episode 11 of Blue's Return, and we are taking a look at Fur White, one of our latest acquisitions. Of course, I changed the name thanks to a commenter's recommendation. I like to stick with the furry theme, and I think Fur White is very appropriate for her. She's a little bit old, so she's probably not going to be a mother anytime soon, but she has been a pretty great addition with her animals, especially construction and medical. Such a great help to the colony. So if you are new, the link is in the description. You can get all caught up with how we got to this point. Things have been going good, but we're getting hit quite a lot. So defenses and our front lines are really a high priority. Of course, we're looking good, trying to really avoid digging into the mountains at this point, inside the compound at least, because we do not want to provoke insect attacks. In fact, this is as deep as we've gone, but you can see we've got big plans to carve out this mountain. I think in today's episode, we're really going to try and focus on our ideology, get this reformation to happen. We're only 2 points away, which theoretically could just be one ritual, so let's speed up time and get started. The beds. This is a really great setup if you're trying to conserve space and make sure you're min-maxing for the hardest difficulties. Of course, it needs to be perfectly placed so that the beds get a bonus from each wooden end table, and some of you have noticed that I did not perfectly place the bed setup. There is one bed in particular that is off, so the headboard needs to literally be touching or adjacent to this for that particular bonus to work. Not true, of course, with the dresser. You can see the lines, but that was bothering a couple people mentioned that in the comments, so I really appreciate it, guys, because I wouldn't have noticed, and whoever gets this just wouldn't have had as good a night's sleep. And our researchers, namely Flossie, have made a new breakthrough with drug production. Of course, that'll be essential if we get any hussars or anybody who's just dependent on anything. But we're going to bypass the more finer drugs for now because it is so easy to forget about electricity. I think it's important we don't rely on the wind too much or for too long. Let's jump into some geothermal. Of course, that's going to be a long one, but yeah, you can see our turbines, we only got 3 of them, but they've kept us going for this long. I just anticipate once we start laying down turrets and stuff like that, which we do need to get out, it's going to be so much important. And the good news is we've got 2 geothermals here inside our little compound, so that's going to really boost the output of electricity, probably carry us right through to nuclear, so that's going to be exciting. But we got to keep things going. Hopefully we get raided soon, or not at all. I don't know what I want today, but a little breather and building period wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Of course, it's all up to Randy. And once again, we have a patient going down for a very serious operation. It's another prosthetic leg here. I've got old Cookie set to industrial level medicine. Not going to expend the glitter world on him or her. Cookie, I forgot your gender. Oh, okay, male. Yeah, but it's not that I don't care about Cookie, it's just we've only got 2 left, so this stuff is very precious. It's more or less like a life insurance policy for somebody who maybe gets the plague and falls behind on their immunity checkups, but let's speed things up. Currently, we got Fur White she's in charge of our operations, and it's a little nervous here because she's only a 9. But, I think it was someone did the last one, maybe Blue, and they failed. So for White, as long as you get this installed, I'm going to be very happy with you. She looks like she's preoccupied though. Okay, she's grabbing the stuff. Let's speed it up. Okay, here we go. She's entering. The doctor has entered the operating theater. Everybody be quiet. Give Fur White her space. Come on, you can do it. Slow it down for the last few seconds for extra tension. And, oh, successful. I love it. When it's successful, there's no sounds, no jingle bells or anything crazy like that. It's just hey, you got a new leg cookie, and when you've come out of your anesthesia, you're going to be a new man. So welcome, welcome. Of course, one day we will start to get the bionics and whatnot, because we've got a lot with this mod pack, no doubt about it. We can basically make cyborgs once we get the right technology and resources. But for now, a modest prosthetic leg is all we need. Oh, and look at that. Furry, I think you're up next, buddy. So yep, he's going to get the next surgery. And surgery number 2 is underway. Fur White, did she gain any experience in her previous surgery? Let's just take a look. She's at 9. She definitely did gain some. She didn't bump a level, but that's okay. She might actually after this one. Let's speed it up. No need for the suspense this time around. Just success or failure. That's all I care about, Fur White. Yes, good job. And she did bump a level. Awesome. And of course, Furry, let's make sure I put it on the correct leg. I did. Wonderful. Sometimes that's the biggest challenge of any surgery, is figuring out your right from your left. Oh my gosh, Randy giveth and Randy taketh away, but this time he's given us a little tortoise here. I call him little, but that's only in size, because these tortai, they are big in spirit. They can hold on 1 or 2 tribal raiders for sure. Tanky little guys they are. Very slow though. He was literally like self-tamed about a half a day ago, and he's just now making it into the compound. But that's okay, because apparently they are smart enough animals to be zoned. I can zone up the tortoise. Not smart enough to set to attack though, but with the zoning, as we've seen previously, it's not even really relevant, because if we set him out here to the little suicide zone for our animals, he'll just wander around right here and raiders will come and attack him. So Randy, I think he's trying to push me over the 80k mark with the wealth. In fact, that tortoise might have done it, because we're over 80k now. But little does he know that we're going to use that tortoise against him and his next raiders. Ah, the anima tree, the large glowing tree which sits at the back of our compound. And of course, if you're new, this is not the natural position where this spawns on this map seed. Typically it generates over here to the right when it does show up. But with the mod collection I've got, link in the description by the way, it does have one mod which all it does is allow you to extract and move the anima tree, just like you can do with any other tree, which seems a bit overpowered. It makes things a little bit easier on you. Your sidecasters don't have to travel halfway across the map, and obviously they're a bit safer here behind our walls. But I mean, again, every tree in the game can be moved. Maybe not the granulin trees. I don't know about those. I don't play with those stupid things. But nonetheless, I think it just makes sense the anima tree can be moved. Anyway, the whole reason I bring that up is because I think it's time to set Blue and Furry as meditators. We're going to start to focus on Blue's sidecasting powers first, and then maybe if we have time later, we'll give Furry some powers too. But unfortunately, they're the only 2 natural pawns we have currently, so normally I would wait too until we had a 3rd one, just because it kind of takes away from their daily duties to be up here for this long meditating. It takes too long essentially, but we are pretty stable in the colony. The only thing I really need to get up is like a ritual room, so we can start performing some of these indoor rituals that require certain buildings. But other than that, we're stable. We're just waiting for Randy to pull some of his nonsense. So anyway, hopefully the sidecasting will start to develop quickly, and it will become an integral part of the colony's defenses. Well, 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 look at this. We've got 4 colonists who are idle right now. That is a rarity around the colony. I hope that means all the animals are fully trained. Not quite, but they are working on it. There's only so much time you can devote to training in one day, so like I said, we're pretty stable. I think we can actually begin to work on that ritual room. Now, I've kind of, sighted out some different locations. I'm still really trying to avoid digging into the mountains at this point. Don't want to provoke any infestations. At this difficulty, they can be extreme. But we will get there. We will, trust me. Now, what I'm going to do is set up a ritual room, a small, probably temporary one, just here. It is going to eat into the animal's yard, but that's okay. They'll get some kibble to replace it. Doesn't have to be big. Since we have a fairly decent sculptor, I can fill this baby with a bunch of statues and it'll be a decent room. But one thing it does need to be is symmetrical. That I definitely insist on. There we go. So now the door will be in the center. Okay, and we can probably dig a little bit of this out. Again, just for aesthetic purposes and maybe give us a little bit more room for our pews and stuff. Just don't want to go into that dark green overhead mountain roof stuff, 'cause that's when the insects will spawn. Alright, we'll give our miners a little bit of time to catch up with those orders. We'll see how that does with the roofing. And of course, we'll put in our own roof and stuff. And hopefully, this gives some of our lazy people a little bit of something to do. Of course, the people who can't construct will haul over materials for us and stuff. And maybe even they can shoo away some of the menagerie of animals who insist on getting in the way of the construction pawns. Oh, it is a dark day in the colony, folks. Cookie, it has come to my attention, as it has in the past, that he is the wrong ideology. Some weird, freakish creed. I don't even want to pronounce the words. It's blasphemy here. So, this man must be arrested. I've been trying to just hit him with the conversion spell at different points, but it's just not enough. He's too convinced in his heresy. So, it's time. The crime of thought belief. You have been judged guilty, my friend. Now, to make things easier for us, before we arrest him, we're going to make him drop his gun. Oh, don't go anywhere. I'd like you to stand very still inside this prison, sir. No reason, just because. And we'll get Blue down here. Let's check Blue. Okay, Blue has a 100% chance. Get down here, Blue, real quick, like. No need for the gun, but he's got it just in case. Now, arrest your best friend, please. Sometimes you got to get him to do it a couple times. There we go. Oh, he was carrying stones around too. That's contraband, sir. Get that out of the prison. Okay, so very important that we don't forget to actually set him to convert. Otherwise, he's just sitting here for no reason, which would be a bad move. Because this is going to affect his mood once we release him. But good news is, hopefully it won't take long. He doesn't have any traits that really, stiffen his convictions. Luckily in his weird creed. So let's see, what did he just go down to with that one hit? I don't know, he's like 1/6 of the way through, 1/5 of the way. And now Blue's going to actively try to convert him. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but this is the best, most reliable way of converting your own people. And once we've got that going, we'll throw a little ritual to celebrate. Oh, sometimes these pawns, I don't understand them. We've got a perfectly nice dining room indoors, but they choose to walk through the rain to come out here and eat at our lovely little picnic setup. This is really here mainly for after we get through a long raid where they've been defending the front lines. They can take a break and just immediately sit down for a meal, but yeah, they seem to enjoy it. Of course, honestly, I don't blame them. This is more functional than anything else. That is something we're missing, and maybe after we've finished our rec room setup, we will get into our ritual room. We will get into a recreation and dining room too, but I was thinking that this would probably be the location of that, this nice long 11 by like 22 or whatever. Unfortunately, it's going to require us to dig in, and we will provoke insect attacks at that point, so I'm a coward. I hate the big green bugs. They're disgusting. This ain't Starship Troopers here. I don't want any part of them, guys, but we will have to at some point. Really, what I'd like to get is like 2, ideally 3 good melee pawns with a little bit of armor. Then I'll be totally happy to take on infestations, but essentially without my meat shield to stand and block off hallways and stuff, our people are just sitting ducks to get chewed apart. Well, it's happened. It's not a turtle this time. Randy has gifted us with a mech cluster. Oh, and it's just out here on the beach. Oh, darn it. There's a panther we could have scavenged. I wonder what happened to this guy. Randy probably hit him with a bolt of lightning or something. Speaking of, let's see what we've got here. Climate adjuster reduces by 10 degrees. Ha ha ha. You think you've hurt us, Randy? You've actually helped us, you dummy. We're living in the jungle, man. It's currently 82. You reduce that by 10 degrees, we're living in a perfect climate. So all we have to do is let this baby sit here on the map until a caravan comes and deals with it, like the last one. Now, we'll see what happens. I definitely need to zone it up, though, so let's do that real quick together, of course. I've already got a I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Okay, zoning tool. We've got one set up for mechs on this side of the map. As you can see, safe mech. So we'll go to our manage areas. We'll add a new area. We'll rename it Safe Mech 2. There we go. And we'll basically flip this for the other side. So let's go ahead and expand it. What we're going to do is invert it. So I'm going to lay down the zone. Doesn't really need to go all the way up here because there's no entrance to that. But I want my people to stay pretty clear of this area, so no going over on this side of the map, basically. If they need to, they can come out and go to the west. But now that we've got this inverted here, what I'm going to do, once we've got this set, I'm going to come in once again, and now we'll invert it. And we will place our people inside that zone. Safe mech 2, except the child's going to stay limited to just the valley, or compound. But as you can see, now our people will only enter the areas which are marked as safe. And I think I'll just go ahead and remove this part of it too. It's not a problem because they don't have any access to this upper corner, but it just kind of bugs me that it's there. So we should be nice and safe here as long as they don't pull anything stupid. Oh my gosh, Randy is just a little too sore, isn't he? This guy is an underhanded jerk. He saw just how easily we bypassed his mech cluster, so he decides to try and hit me with a dry thunderstorm. Look at this. Well, we aren't going to fall for it, Randy. It's time to wake everybody up, including little Kelly. Get out here and do some firefighting, people. That's right, Randy. You can't stop us. Oh, it has happened, folks. Cookie has had his mind erased and rewritten with the proper ideological beliefs. He is officially, I don't even remember what we call ourselves, tribal supremacists now, and we can release our gentle Cookie back into the colony. There you go, sir. He will, of course, have a pretty severe mood debuff of, I think it's like -9 for being imprisoned recently, but it drops off in like 12 days, so we can handle any breaks from our boy Cookie here. And of course, we are hurriedly slapping together our ritual room in anticipation here. It's a long construction process. I tell you, these altars take forever, especially when you make them out of solid granite, but we've got most of it done. In fact, we could probably initiate a ritual right now, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. Let's just see. Leader. Oh, we haven't promoted a leader yet. Oh. Yeah, but you can see even with a partially finished room and no leader, we're at 80% here. But we'll give it a moment. Cookie hasn't even been released. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm excited. The colony will be whole again shortly, and we're going to celebrate. Well, the ideology and the colony as a whole can't be without a leader. And no, it's not going to be Blue. Blue is our spiritual guide, of course. Fur White has just been promoted to leader. And now that we've made that little procedural change, we can finally initiate a real ritual. And I hope sincerely that we will get to, look at that, 100%, let's do it. Yeah, I sincerely hope now we get to reform this ideology a bit, because it's too primitive. You know, we're already into electricity. We need to move beyond this. We need to advance spiritually as well as technologically. So we'll speed things up here. Early stage of the colony, the rituals don't take long. Okay, even in a partially unfinished one, we could get a good luck outcome. Oh, terrible human advent. Dang it. Well, we ended up with 1 point regardless. That was actually from converting what's-his-face. Yeah, that wasn't due to any of the rituals. When you convert, you do get 1 point towards your ideology. Other than that, oh man, maybe we should throw somebody else in prison then. Unfortunately, there's no more colonists who need to have their mind erased. But I'll keep my eyes out. And some way, somehow, we're going to continue to develop our belief system. Well, we have just pumped out a symbol burning ritual. And we welcome Jensen, our newest member. It was successful. We're going to reform our ideology here very shortly. But I'm hoping Jensen doesn't get himself killed. Please don't shoot. No fire at will. I'm going to have to manually walk this guy around. Oh, boy. Yes. Sorry I didn't bring you guys along for the actual ritual itself, but I wasn't sure if it would be good or bad. We've got a couple more we can knock out too. The Christmas tree rituals coming up next, but we're going to want to reform first so we get those points. All right, he's set. Get him in here. Make sure he's locked in. Unfortunately, yeah, he's in the safe zone. Good. He is not a natural background, and he's already 7 years old. So I believe we've missed one growth event, and all he's got here is psychically deaf. So, I mean, he can still turn out to be a really great pawn. We're not going to worry about sacrificing him or anything like that. We'll keep him around. Jensen, the little Neanderthal, is the newest member. Say hello, everybody. Oh, and I also just realized Cookie doesn't have a weapon, so let's take care of that. Get you a little shotgun there, buddy. All right, guys, it is time to reform our ritual. Finally, tribal supremacy gets a bump here, and let's hit this. I'm going to go for a meme. Now, there's a lot of options. Pain is virtue, although it's a little annoying to have to do constant scarification rituals. I don't love that about it. Supremacist gives us the options for shooting and melee specialists, which is good. It's also really low impact. Although I think I want to do a tunneler down the road. Like I want to have a mining specialist once we start to break in. I think what we'll do is we'll go for Supremacist, just so we have that option. We can promote a specialist now and maybe, switch it down the road once we reform again. It'll upset the person who happened to be the specialist previously, but I don't care. Feelings aren't important here. So there we go. We'll choose that hit next. And we definitely want to reform a couple of these. So we no longer care about corpses. That just makes their mood so much easier to deal with. Organ use, acceptable, keep that. Slavery is fine. We probably won't keep slaves, but I honestly think that's pretty good here. Let's see, are there any that we want to add? Brings up this huge list. I'd have to go through it a little closer, but I think we're set for now. As we go down and become more sophisticated ideologically, we might add some more of these with different memes and stuff, but for right now, I think getting rid of the corpse thing was probably good. Executions required. Let's just put respected if guilty. That's probably a little bit better. And our rituals are still solid. They're all locked in place. We could add that shooting specialist. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to edit and just remove the clothing requirement. I don't care about the name or anything like that. There we go. We're looking good. We've got a relic. Everything is still the same, but minor changes. But that's what the fluid ideology is all about. So we are done. Don't even need to save it. The numbers have reset. So now would be a good time to slap down a little Christmas tree ceremony. There we go, guys. So we're going to get that going. As we sign off for today's episode, I think this is probably a good point to end things. Not a lot of violence in today's episode, but sometimes it's good. We'll just consider this a peaceful time of the year when we finally got around to doing some rituals and stuff. But I appreciate everybody joining me, of course. Continue to tune in for the series. We are going to be seeing a little bit of action going forward with this mech cluster down here. You can count on that. But thank you, everybody, once again. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all on the next one. Thank you for watching the video, everybody. I just want to take a moment to recognize my Patreons. As you can see, I've put their names in gold because they are, in fact, more precious than that shiny metal. Now, I'd like to take a moment to invite you to also support the channel for as little as $2, $5, or $10. You gain access to all my content early and ad-free over on Patreon, as well as a private Discord server with me and my other Patreons where we do some giveaways and have great conversations. But once again, thank you, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.